7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Get ready, Friar Faithful. This is the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on the Padres Radio Network.
Jackson swings, hits it in the air, deep to right field. He has done it again. Unbelievable.
Coming up, we'll have a recap of the previous Padres game, a preview of today's starting pitching matchup, our keys to the game. Plus, we'll hear from manager Mike Shildt.
Ultimately, what we're here to do is win.
From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
San Diego Padres baseball coming up on 97.3 The Fan and the Padres Radio Network. Today, the Padres take on the Houston Astros in Game 1 of a 3-game series. Our starting pitching matchup today for the Astros, right-hander Ryan Gusto, and for the Padres, left-hander Kyle Hart. Hi again, everyone. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios as we get ready for this series and road trip opener. First pitch coming up at 5:10 in Houston, Texas. Coming up in the next 50 minutes, we'll hear from Fernando Tatis Jr., we'll hear from Kyle Hart, we'll hear from Mike Shildt, and in just a little bit, we check in with Gwynn Jr. But first, it's time to set the table, brought to you by Fraser Farms Market. Set your table with the highest quality of natural and organic products from Fraser Farms Market, a San Diego original since 1971, with 3 locations, La Mesa Vista and Oceanside, and at FraserFarmsMarket.com. Padres are 15-4 to begin the season, entering today with the best record in all of Major League Baseball. Padres have won 6 of their last 7 games, and today they look to start a season 16-4 for just the second time in club history. Meanwhile, the Astros enter at 8-10. They just lost 2 of 3 to the Cardinals. Before we turn our full attention to this series in Houston and this 6-game road trip, let's revisit Wednesday's game in downtown San Diego.
Did you miss what happened in the last Padres game? Let's take a look back with our Padres Rewind on the Padres Radio Network.
Rubber game of a 3-game series against the Cubs. Padres trailed 1-0 early, but they got it going in the bottom half of the third. Runners on first and third for Fernando Tatis Jr.
2 on and 1 out for Fernando. Padres down 1-0 in the third inning. And a big-time opportunity as Tatis grounds one slowly to the right side. Warner sliding to his left, bobbles, throws to first, not in time, and Diaz scores to tie the game. It was going to get the run home no matter what, but the little bobble combined with Fernando's speed allows Tatis to reach safely. It's a 1-1 game and an RBI single for Tatis.
Later in the inning, it was Manny Machado.
With a full count, Tatis and Wade will be on the move. 3-2 to Manny. The pitch from Boyd swung on, grounded sharply through the left side and a base hit. Wade's on his way home. Fernando to third. Machado an RBI single, and the Padres ahead. It's 2-1.
Padres still led 2-1 in the 7th inning. That was before Manny struck again.
Pitch coming. Manny rips it in the air down the left field line. Hooking. That's a fair ball. Going to go to the corner. Wade is speeding towards third. He'll be waved. The throw comes in to Swanson. No chance for a relay. An RBI double for Machado. And the Padres do add on. It's 3-1.
Padres had
2-out magic.
Padres had that 3-1 lead heading to the top of the 8th inning. Pete Crow Armstrong got the Cubs a little bit closer in the 8th.
Next pitch to Crow Armstrong, sent in the air. High and deep to right field. Fernando is at the wall looking up. It's going to go. Home run, Pete Crow Armstrong. All of a sudden, that run the Padres got last inning, absolutely huge. It's now 3-2.
Speaking of getting insurance, Padres scratched across another run in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Fernando Tatis Jr. walked with the bases loaded for his second RBI of the day. That made it a 4-2 game. Robert Suarez shut the door in the 9th.
Padres trying to finish the homestand 5-1. Here's the pitch to Swanson. Swung on, grounded to shortstop. Rolls right to Xander. He's got it. Throw to first is in time, and the ball game is over. Padres with a 4-2 win over the Cubs here this afternoon. They take 2 out of 3 against Chicago. They move to 12-1 here at Petco Park and have started the 2025 season 15-4.
The Padres continuing to roll. The final score, like Jesse alluded to, the Padres 4 and the Cubs 2. Padres taking 2 out of 3 from the Cubbies as they hit the road here today in Houston. Let's go out to Dyken Park in Houston, Texas, and check in with Tony Gwynn Jr.
Let's take a trip up to the Padres broadcast booth for a deep dive on today's matchup with Tony Gwynn Jr. in our Padres game preview on the Padres Radio Network.
All right, Tony, coming off the off day, I know you had to do your show here on 97.3 The Fan yesterday, but how was the off day, at least part of it, for you in Houston, and how has the road trip been so far?
It's been good. I mean, it hasn't started yet, but we'll get rolling here today. My off day, as you mentioned, was filled with a little bit of work, but I also got to see some really close family friends.
Oh, good.
Got some nice mini apple pies I got to bring in today to share for those who wanted it.
Okay. One for Dave Marcus, Jesse Agler as well?
Yes,
okay.
Of course.
Very, very good. Feel free to, I don't know, somehow freeze one, bring it back to San Diego
I don't know
in a
if
week
they'll
or
make
so.
it all the way back.
Okay.
We got a whole nother city to stop, and I doubt I'm going to be able to get through without eating it myself.
I'll have to get to Houston at some point, get myself some mini apple pies. Let's talk baseball. Left-hander Kyle Hart on the mound for the Padres here today, coming off a really nice outing against the Rockies last weekend. Tony, what did you see from Kyle Hart in that outing, and how does he have that kind of success against this Astros lineup here tonight?
He was able to command the baseball, and what I guess I mean by that is he was able to use his off-speed to his advantage. I thought he was very efficient in that ball game that he threw. And when, you got a guy like Hart who, is not going to be overpowering, it becomes that much more important to be able to land your off-speed stuff. And he did a terrific job of that. 6 innings of work. He only did it in 74 pitches. I mean, he had more space to go should he needed it, but he didn't. And hopefully he can get on that same type of deal here today. This Astro team not necessarily swinging the bats that great, and I think he can take advantage of that. Yeah,
we'll get into that a little bit later. This Astros offense has not been all that good so far. On the other side of this pitching matchup, Tony, right-hander Ryan Gusto, young right-hander in his rookie season. This will be just his second major league start. I know. The offensive approach never really changes if you're the Padres, but if the Padres are going to have success against a guy like Gusto today, what will that look like?
Well, it's going to look like it looks most nights for the Padres. This yard is a little bit different. I mean, the righties can certainly take advantage of that short porch, but base running also becomes an important factor in this stadium. And so, in terms of the offense, what it's going to look like, a lot of that will be dictated by how Gusto's trying to approach this Padre team. But their philosophy doesn't change when they're right. As you said, there's going to be gap to gap. They're going to, if the power swings or approaches are there at times, they'll take them. But they're out there trying to figure out a way to score as many runs as possible. And they know the best way they do that is by, line to line, gap to gap on the line.
Tony, let's talk a little bit more about this Astros team because it's really a different group than what it's been the last handful of years. And that's going back even into the George Springer, Carlos Correa days. But even this season, there's no more Kyle Tucker. There's no more Alex Bregman. You look at their lineup, and the two sort of core names that are in there that you recognize, Jose Altuve and Yordan Alvarez. I know you have a great pulse for the game and these teams. What's your general sense of the Astros and sort of where they are right now? Because this is a very different group than the group that has done so much winning for the Astros in the last decade or so.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they had up until this point, they've done a really good job of finding their identity after losing big pieces, right? It started with Garrett Cole. He leaves, they figure it out. Then Springer leaves, they figure it out. Correa leaves, they figure it out. But you start losing that kind of talent over and over again. Eventually, you got to pay the piper, and you trade Kyle Tucker, he goes away. Bregman signed, so that's 2 guys you lose in the offseason. And so you're gonna feel that. And I think the Astros are experiencing that for the first time. They still have a lot of talent on this team, especially on the young pitching side. Don't forget about Pena at shortstop.
Yeah.
Is probably their highest motor guy, but outside of that, they're really probably trying to figure out their identity and what that looks like without missing or while missing a guy like Tucker, while missing a guy like Bregman. Those things take some time to kind of iron out.
And you're right. I should have mentioned Jeremy Pena in that conversation. Of course, he was a big part of a World Series winner for the Astros just a handful of years ago. And I should mention as well, even though the Astros are 8-10, Tony, remember last year they got off to a really, really rough start. They ended up going to the postseason. So it is a very, very long season, whether you get off to a rough start or a great start like the Padres have so far at 15-4. Tony, as always, appreciate the time. We'll talk to you and Jesse coming up at the top of the hour, 5 p.m. here in San Diego. And as always, thanks so much.
No problem.
All right, Tony Gwynn Jr. joining us on our EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show here on the Padres Radio Network as we get ready for today's game number 20 of the Padres season. Again, they come in the best record in Major League Baseball at 15-4, just 3-3 on the road. This is just the second road trip the Padres have had so far this season. 3 games in Houston, 3 more games in Detroit, and the first of a 6-game road trip coming up at 5:10 p.m. When we come back, we hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt, plus a little bit later, we hear from Fernando Tatis Jr. and tonight's starting pitcher Kyle Hart. As we get ready for this one, our pregame coverage continues after this on the Padres Radio Network.
Stay tuned to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. EcoWater.
Back to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. EcoWater SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. Your water should be perfect. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios as we get ready for this series opener between the Padres and the Houston Astros in Houston. First pitch coming up at 5:10. Lot to do between now and then. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt in a moment. We'll also hear from Fernando Tatis Jr. and tonight's starting pitcher Kyle Hart a little bit later as well. As always, if you want to get involved on our pregame coverage, you can do that in a number of different ways. You can find me on X or Instagram at SammyLev, SammyLev. You can send me a tweet or an X, whatever the kids are calling it these days. You can also slide in the DMs on Instagram. Let me know, what is your key to today's game and this series against the Astros? Me, just read your key to the game live here on the air, or you can also comment on our YouTube stream if you happen to be watching on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Let's hear from the Padres skipper.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt, served up by Sin Lee Food, where fresh meets flavor. Find farm fresh produce, bold Asian spices, and gourmet ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard. Sin Lee Food, the cook's Asian resource.
Mike Shildt speaking with the media earlier today inside the Padres dugout in Houston. And one thing that we'll talk about a little bit later, Fernando Tatis Jr. continues to walk more, and he is striking out a lot less than he has in his career. It's been part of Fernando's excellent start to the 2025 season. Again, we'll talk about it a little bit more coming up later. We'll hear from Fernando on it a little bit more later. But here was Mike Shildt earlier today on Fernando's approach in 2025.
I know he's been really intentional about making sure he's getting a pitch in the zone he can take a good swing on, and recognizing he's got a 3-time batting champion behind him to hit, so he doesn't have to feel like he's got to chase. I thought the at-bat, his last at-bat to get that walk, especially after a couple really kind of close strikes-ish. And that last at-bat where he walked with the bases loaded, stayed within himself, fought off some tough pitches, and then took some tough pitches. He's showing a lot of play zone discipline. When he does that, it's pretty scary.
Yeah. We've talked about it, but if you don't mind reviewing just the 2-out approach that the team has had. I know it's not a specific 2-out approach per se, but there have been a lot of 2-out rallies that have been started oftentimes with walks. I mean, does that just come down to discipline and, again, a trust that the guy behind you might get something done so you don't have to force anything?
I think it's as much as just knowing that we're going to compete regardless of circumstance. We get a couple outs. I'm sure they've had to earn them, but now it's 2 outs, nobody on. We got to figure out a way. So the guy's just going to figure out a way to get on base and create something for the next guy.
Kyle really did a nice job in his last outing. What was the difference in that last outing between the one before that where he really struggled with just basic command and getting in the zone and working ahead?
Yeah, it starts with commanding the baseball, being able to throw it in the zone. Most of the time you have to get outs in the strike zone. So he was able to do that with multiple pitches, righties, lefties, threw the ball very well. Good tempo, controlled counts, set himself up for success.
How much of it is him maybe just getting used to being in the big leagues again? Is there any element to that, do you think?
I think that's probably something to it. He doesn't have a lot of time, and went over to Korea to work on his craft and dominated that, and still coming back and finding his footing, but I think he's in a good place.
Jeremiah Estrada has been pretty good at the back end of your bullpen. What have you seen from his growth?
Jeremiah's been very good. He was very good for us last year. He's a big part of our success last year. As far as the growth goes, he continues to be really confident in a very good manner of how he competes. He's going to be aggressive with his pitches. He's got multiple plus pitches. He's got a plus fastball that explodes on hitters. He's got the split. He's got the slider. So he's got a lot of weapons that he can dispose in the strike zone that he does consistently for quality strikes, and he's very efficient.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt earlier today in Houston. We'll hear more from Mike coming up just a little bit later. Get some injury updates on Jackson Merrill, Yu Darvish, Brandon Lockridge, and more. As we get ready for our first pitch coming up at 5:10 in Houston, let's tell you who's hot, who's not.
Which player is locked in at the dish? Who needs to kick things up another notch? This is Who's Hot, Who's Not on the Padres Radio Network.
Let's take a look at the hot category. Fernando Tatis Jr. certainly in that category for the Padres. He's reached base in all 18 games that he's played this season. Tatis now hitting .348 with a .623 slugging percentage, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases. And like I said earlier, we're going to have a deeper dive on Fernando coming up in a little bit. Manny Machado also in the hot category. His last 15 games batting .345 with 13 runs scored, 5 doubles, and 2 home runs in that span. Luis Arraez in the hot category as well. You look at his last 11 games, Louis batting .367 with 4 extra base hits. And for the Astros, Jeremy Pena, one of the rare guys in this lineup right now, swinging it well. He's batting .300 in a current 8-game hitting streak. In the not category, we take a look at one Astro, one Padre. Yainer Diaz for the Astros is batting just .130 on the season with 1 home run in 54 at-bats. And Xander Bogaerts went 0 for 10 in the 3-game series against the Cubs. And that's a look at who's hot, who's not, as we get ready for this series opener in Houston. Now let's take you around the horn.
Let's examine the most important news and the latest information you need to know in the world of Major League Baseball. Sam Levitt takes you around the horn. Presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Get ready for Major League winning when you join Valley View Casino and Hotel's Players Club and receive over $200 in free instant offers. Visit valleyviewcasino.com to learn more today.
We'll have the full out-of-town scoreboard coming up later, but I got to tell you about this wild game at Wrigley Field in Chicago today. The Cubs led 7-1 going to the top of the 8th inning. That's when the Diamondbacks scored 10 runs in the top of the 8th to take an 11-7 lead. But then the Cubs scored 6 runs in the bottom of the inning to win it 13-11. The teams hit a combined 7 home runs, including a grand slam for each side. Again, Cubs win it 13-11. Imagine being the Arizona Diamondbacks, scoring 10 runs in an inning and not winning the game. That is remarkable. Good win for the Cubbies at Wrigley today. We do have some excellent starting pitching matchups today. Sandy Alcantara on the mound for the Marlins against Zach Wheeler on the mound for Philadelphia. Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers against Jacob deGrom for the Rangers today. And Cole Reagan's on the mound for the Royals against the talented young right-hander Jackson Jobe on the mound for the Tigers. Some other headlines: Major League Baseball suspended Yankees infielders Jazz Chisholm Jr. for 1 game and fined him an undisclosed amount. That was the result of his actions during Thursday night's Yankees win in Tampa Bay. Chisholm was ejected in the 7th inning by plate umpire John Bacon for arguing after a called third strike. He got thrown out of the game, and then minutes later, he posted on his X account, "Not even expletive close." Then he deleted the post. MLB didn't like that, and they suspended him for 1 game and fined him as well. The LA Dodgers recalled Noah Davis from AAA Oklahoma City before today's series opener against the Rangers. He'll make his Dodgers debut at some point here soon. But the more interesting part of this is that the Dodgers optioned Bobby Miller, 26-year-old right-hander. He gave up 6 runs in 3 innings in his 2025 debut against the Rockies on Wednesday. In parts of 3 seasons with the Dodgers, he's 13-8, but a 5.45 ERA in 36 starts. The reason I bring it up, a lot of people felt like Bobby Miller was going to be the next big thing for the Dodgers in a starting pitching sense, and it has just not been that way. And he got optioned back down after 1 start here in 2025. So who knows what the future holds for Bobby Miller with the LA Dodgers. Wanted to bring that up. And that's a look at some headlines from today around the major leagues. When we come back, we get some injury updates on Jackson Merrill, Jake Cronenworth, Yu Darvish, and others as well. We also hear from Fernando Tatis Jr., tonight's starting pitcher Kyle Hart, and much, much more to come as we walk you up towards first pitch coming up at 5:10 in Houston, right here on the Padres Radio Network.
Hello, my friends. It's Woodsy. Did you know your water quality affects everything? Your skin, your health, even your home pipes and appliances.
SoCal Padres pregame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. We go out to Jesse Agler and Tony Gwynn Jr. at the top of the hour. First pitch in Game 1 of this 3-game series in Houston coming up at 5:10. We've got a lot to do. We'll hear from Fernando Tatis Jr. coming up a little bit later in this segment. We'll also give you our keys to the game, take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and coming up in just a little bit, we'll hear from tonight's starting pitcher, Kyle Hart. But first,
who's in, who's out? This is the Bada Fulkerson Injury Report, presented by San Diego's Bulldog Injury Attorneys, who hope you're never in an accident. But if you are, make Bada Fulkerson the first call you make. Hit him up 24/7 at badafulkerson.com.
Padres manager Mike Shildt speaking earlier today inside the Padres dugout. Obviously, the Padres have a number of big injuries right now. Jackson Merrill on the IL with the hamstring injury. Jake Cronenworth on the IL with the rib fracture. Brandon Lockridge on the IL with the hamstring injury. Yu Darvish continuing to work his way back after dealing with elbow inflammation, going back to spring training. We get an update here on everybody. First, here was the update on Jackson Merrill.
Jackson didn't travel, just back and getting more controlled environments where he can do some things, but he is getting to a point where he can start to jog a little bit and do some baseball activity. And good news is he's recovering every day and everything's a little bit better and his strength's getting to come back.
How about Jake?
Jake's on the road with us, doing some baseball activity today, starting to get a little more range of motion. So just a matter of him being able to, do what he can do based on what his tolerance is.
Saw you in the clubhouse as well. How's he coming along with his progress?
He's doing good. He's on the road. He's, got a chance to do a bullpen over this course of this homestands, or this road trip rather, this series specifically. So we'll see. I think a real bullpen, the intensity level will be based on his feelings. But like I said, I believe that a couple days ago, he's now at a point where he's playing mound catch. So he's lengthening out his long toss. Arm feels good, and now he's at a point where he can feel like he can, play some catch on the mound, and now it's intensity's there for some level of bullpen with a catcher down.
Do you think Jackson staying back and getting that intentional work could lead to him going against Tampa at the start of
it's hard for me to say. I think that could be a little aggressive. I mean, he's going to need to get some other baseball activity. Like I said, we're not putting a big timeline on this, him or Locke or Crony for that matter. We're just trying to see where they're at, and right now, you got to progress to more of a good, consistent jog before we can go any further.
What is the update with Locke? Sorry.
Very similar to Jackson. They're very similar in their progressions right now. Their strength, they're clearly different athletes, but both of them are making progress. And Locke's with Jackson.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt earlier today. Got a number of updates there on Brandon Lockridge, Jackson Merrill, Jake Cronenworth, and Yu Darvish as well. And we'll see what the updates are in the days to come. You heard there from Mike Shildt, Jackson, Brandon not making the trip with the team. Jake is with the team right now. So again, we'll see what the updates are in the days to come on all those guys, and hopefully all those guys back sooner rather than later. We'll hear from Fernando Tatis Jr. coming up in just a couple of minutes, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's give you our keys to tonight's game.
How will the Padres unlock a win today? These are the keys to the game. Presented by El Centro Motors Ford. Meet your new Ford General Manager, Greg Ryan, now at El Centro Motors Ford, your new Ford truck, Bronco, and SUV HQ. Call Greg directly at 619-944-0774.
Quick couple of keys tonight. One on the pitching side, one on the offensive side. Key number one on the pitching side. Don't let the Astros offense wake up. The Padres lead the majors this season with a .274 team batting average. That is 58 points higher than the Astros right now. They rank 26th in the major leagues with a .216 average combined. Padres have also slugged 100 points better than the Astros so far this season. Jose Altuve is hitting .311 in 74 at-bats. Altuve playing left field now, by the way, leading off for the Astros here tonight. He's hitting .311, but the rest of the Astros combined are hitting .202. Here's another thing working in the Padres' favor tonight. They have lefty Kyle Hart on the mound, and the Astros have just been bad against left-handers this year. The Astros are just 8 for 62 collectively against lefties this season. That's a 129. batting average. I bring up all those numbers to say this Astros offense has not been great. They don't hit lefties. Padres got to take advantage of it tonight. Do not let this Astros offense all of a sudden here tonight and in this series get it going. Take advantage of what has been a sleepy Astros offense to this point. That's key number one. Key number two, the offensive key. A more selective Fernando. Not only is Fernando Tatis Jr. off to a fantastic start this season, but we're seeing an even better and more selective version of Fernando Tatis Jr. And here's why. He is a career-high 12.5% walk rate and a career-low 11.3% strikeout rate this season. Coming into this year, he had a 9.1% walk rate and a career 25% strikeout rate. So again, just think about the strikeout rate is down from 25 entering this season on his career to 11.3 this season, and he's walking more. So the walks are up, the strikeouts are way down. Yeah, he's talented, super talented. Yeah, he's playing really well, but he's also being much, much more selective at the plate. Hey, Fernando, keep doing what you're doing. That's key number two, and that's a look at our keys to tonight's game. Speaking of Fernando Tatis Jr., he spoke inside the Padres clubhouse earlier today, and he was asked about that approach at the plate. Here's what Nando had to say.
You've reduced your strikeouts, you've reduced your whiff rates, you've increased your walk percentage. Approach, changing the mechanics, what do you think is the main reason for all that?
Good combination of both. I mean, right mechanics. It was something that I took home. I took home and put it into work with my dad, and then obviously approach. I feel like the more you play, the more mature you get on the plate, and also my hitting coaches, put in great work, giving me good feedback from what the pitcher's trying to do. What's their attack plan and how we're gonna answer back, and just a great mix of all the way around.
So it sounds like some of it is just experience, just getting a chance to see more and more pitches, not necessarily a firm game plan of trying to do anything necessarily, just more experience in terms of recognizing the strike zone and what you want to go after?
Yeah, because every time I go to the plate, my first intent is to damage, no matter what. I'm going to the plate to swing the bat. That's my deal. Try to take over the strike zone by swinging the bat, and that's has been my identity all the time. But at the same time, you keep growing, you keep getting better ideas in the plate, and you just go more selective on part of the strike zone, and a couple ideas putting together.
How much has the lower leg kick helped you, do you think, in terms of maybe being able to wait a little bit longer to make some of those pitch selections, or there might be other factors to that?
I'm just trying to be early, on the plate with my timing, so that helps me a lot in that area, just trying to be early the most of the time, and that has helped me a lot because with the leg kick, start of the season, everybody's fresh, pitchers are trying new stuff, they're trying to be quicker to the plate, so I'm just trying to give myself more time at the plate.
That was Fernando Tatis Jr. inside the Padres clubhouse earlier today. Fernando leading off and playing right field for the Padres here tonight. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
A lot of games going on right now. Guardians 2, Pirates 2 in the fourth inning in Pittsburgh. Tigers leading the Royals 2-1 in the fourth inning in Detroit. Phillies 6, Marlins 0 in Philadelphia in the third. Orioles leading the Reds 1-0 in Baltimore in the third. Yankees 1, Rays 0 in Tampa in the third. Blue Jays lead the Mariners 2-1 in Toronto in the third. Red Sox lead the White Sox 3-0 in Boston in the third. Cardinals lead the Mets 1-0 in New York in the third inning as well. Boy, every game is in the third inning right now. Twins lead the Braves 2-0 in Atlanta in the second. Games still coming up later yet to begin. Dodgers in Arlington against the Rangers. A's and the Brewers in Milwaukee. Giants and the Angels in Anaheim. We do already have one postponement today. Nationals and the Rockies postponed due to weather in Colorado. One final, we told you about that crazy game at Wrigley Field today. Cubs scoring 6 runs in the bottom half of the eighth inning after the Diamondbacks scored 10 in the top of the eighth inning. Cubs won that game 13-11. We'll have much more on all these games coming up in our post-game coverage later on this evening. And that's full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Friday. When we come back, we hear from tonight's starting pitcher, Kyle Hart. First pitch coming up at 5:10 in Houston, right here on the Padres Radio Network.
You're listening to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. EcoWater
Coming up on 97.3 The Fan and the Padres Radio Network. First pitch at 5:10 in Houston, Texas. Game 1 of this 3-game series between the Padres and the Houston Astros. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Left-hander Kyle Hart on the mound for the Padres here today. We'll have a full breakdown of our pitching matchup between Kyle Hart and Ryan Gusto on the mound for the Astros. And in just a little bit, we'll also tell you what to watch for in tonight's series opener. But first, before the Padres hit the road, I had an opportunity to catch up with today's starting pitcher, Kyle Hart, inside the Padres clubhouse on Wednesday at Petco Park. Of course, Kyle coming off a great outing against the Rockies last weekend, 6 scoreless innings, by far the best outing of his still very young major league career. Here was my conversation with Kyle Hart just a couple of days ago. Congratulations on a great start. Your last time out against the Colorado Rockies, now that you've had a handful of days to digest it, review it, how'd you feel about that last start?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, obviously. 6 shutout. You know, you're going to take that every day. It doesn't matter how or why. Just trying to give our offense a chance to get in the dugout, put runs on the board. I thought there was some pieces from the execution side that weren't great. And me and Maldi and Ruben kind of worked through them and tried to work on them yesterday in my bullpen and, hopefully take them into Friday's game.
Without giving up anything you don't want to give up before a start, what were some of those execution things that you felt like could be better?
Yeah, I just felt like there was some more off-speed pitches that could have been competitive, not necessarily landed in the zone, but just competitive. And then the fastball lanes, I thought I had the right idea with where we were taking the fastball, just not executing at a high enough clip.
As far as working with Martin Maldonado, I know you guys had some communication before the start. Obviously, the results on game day were very good. What was the experience like working with Maldi?
Yeah, that was my first time, and we're blessed here with two great catchers and really smart guys, experienced guys. That was the first time Martin and I have worked the whole year. I mean, didn't even throw a bullpen together in spring training. So, we kind of are still getting to know each other a little bit, but, both these guys call great games, do a lot of preparation. I feel like they're extremely prepared when we get into the game. It was just one of those games where the plan that we set out was exactly how it kind of unfolded, once we got out there, which is always a comfortable feeling.
Joined by Padres pitcher Kyle Hart, making the start against the Astros as we get ready for today's game on the Padres radio network. Just out of curiosity, when you're getting ready for a start like this on the road, as the week goes along, we have an off day before the game on Friday. What does a prep few days typically look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I threw a heavy bullpen yesterday. You're just trying to keep everything as buttoned up as possible. I think we're always kind of tinkering and evolving with our routines, but just trying to stick to your guns when it comes to knowing what makes your body feel good, and then diving into the scouting stuff. That probably 48 hours leading up, I kind of started on it this morning, and then eat good, drink good, and try to sleep well. We're lucky with an off day tomorrow and not too late of a flight tonight, so the prep and all that should be pretty straightforward. But looking forward to getting down to Houston and taking on a good team.
As far as the eating and the drinking, the nutrition element of what you do, I know each guy has a little bit of a different game plan, a path of what they do. Well, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Honestly, I just have to fight to keep weight on. Last year, I was kind of on my own. Everything this year is so catered to the individual, and we're lucky to have Jamie and a great training staff that kind of keeps an eye on everything, strength coaches. So it's pretty straightforward here. But for me, just eat and drink as much as I possibly can.
Why for you in particular is it important for you to keep weight on?
Just because I lose it really easily. If I'm not like keeping an eye on it, even if I take like a couple days of eating like light, I'll lose 3 or 4 pounds really quickly. So, it's just something I have to stay on top of.
Kyle, appreciate the time as always. Best of luck in your start coming up in Houston. And as always, thanks so much.
I appreciate it.
That was tonight's starting pitcher, Kyle Hart. We'll tell you more about Kyle in just a second. You heard me ask Kyle about working with Martin Maldonado, and guess what? After Hart and Maldonado together accomplished 6 scoreless innings against the Rockies in Hart's last start, well, Martin Maldonado back behind the plate today for the Padres. First pitch coming up at 5:10. Let's tell you what to watch for.
What's the one thing Sam Levitt will be keeping his eye on in today's game? This is What to Watch For, presented by Genesis Home Improvements, San Diego's trusted painting, roofing, and window company. Save 15% today on a new beginning for your home. Visit GenesisHomeImprovementsSD.com.
What to watch for in tonight's game. Let's talk about stolen bases. The Padres' 24 stolen bases are currently tied for the 5th most in the major leagues. They've been caught only 3 times. Padres have the best stolen base percentage in the majors at just under 90%. But here's one thing I'm looking for. In the Padres' first 14 games of the season, they stole 22 bases. They were running wild. Their last 5 games, they've only recorded 2 steals. So it's slowed down quite a bit as of late. I'm wondering if tonight and in this series, if we see the Padres start to run more again. That's what to watch for in tonight's game. Well, the Padres start running again. Slowed down a little bit as of late. Now let's take a full look at our starting pitching matchup between Kyle Hart and Ryan Gusto.
Let's take a look at who's on the bump today with our starting pitching preview on the Padres Radio Network.
Right-hander Ryan Gusto on the mound for the Houston Astros, a 26-year-old rookie, 11th round pick in 2019 by the Astros. He's currently in the rotation replacing Spencer Arrighetti Arrighetti suffered a fractured thumb when he was hit by a line drive during batting practice last week. So far this season, Gusto, 5 outings, including 1 start, 12 innings, 4 earned runs given up, 9 hits. He struck out 15 and walked 3. Gusto is still getting stretched out. The 1 start came last week against the Angels. He threw 72 pitches, went 4 innings, 3 runs allowed on 4 hits and a home run. Gusto was really good to start the season in the bullpen, gave up just 1 run in 8 innings of relief. And again, with the injury to Arrighetti, now Gusto in the starting rotation, just his 2nd major league start here tonight. Meanwhile, for the Padres, left-hander Kyle Hart, 32 years old, coming off his best start of his major league career through 6 innings, gave up just 1 run against the Rockies last weekend. Aside from that really rough first inning against the Cubs on April 6th, when he gave up 5 runs, got just 2 outs through 39 pitches, Hart has allowed just 2 runs on 6 hits in his other 11 innings. So, Kyle Hart coming off a great outing. How does he follow it up on the road against a pretty righty-heavy lineup for the Astros here tonight? And that's a look at our starting pitching matchup between Kyle Hart and Ryan Gusto. Speaking of a righty-heavy lineup, just 1 left-handed hitter in that Astros lineup tonight, and that is the very dangerous Yordan Alvarez. As always, thank you for listening to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. EcoWater SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. Your water should be perfect. When we come back, Jesse Agler, Tony Gwynn Jr. have the full starting lineups, first pitch, and all the play-by-play. I'll talk to you on our post-game coverage. You're listening to your home for San Diego Padres baseball, 97.3 The Fan, and the Padres Radio Network. Enjoy the game, everybody.